The 2021-2022 school year marks the 50th anniversary of Title IX. This landmark legislation led to a national movement that now provides opportunities for over 140,000 female student athletes in Illinois. The opportunities for today's athletes were built on the perseverance of those athletes, coaches, administrators, and officials who came before. In this episode of Leaders and Legends, IHSA staff explores one of those experiences. Celebrating the 50th anniversary of Title IX, the IHSA presents Leaders and Legends.
Today we continue our Trailblazers and Champions series as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of Title IX. Joining me today to share her story is one of the greatest athletes of all time, Jackie Joyner-Kersee. A three-sport IHSA athlete at Lincoln High School in East St. Louis, Jackie participated in volleyball, basketball, and track and field. Jackie was a member of 4 IHSA state title teams, 1 in basketball and 3 in track and field. Jackie went on to the UCLA and competed in both basketball and track and field. A world record holder and 3-time gold medal Olympian, one of the greatest of all time, Jackie Joyner-Kersee. Jackie, just thanks for being here today. I'm so excited to talk with you and talk about Title IX. Can you just reflect and tell us a little bit about your time at Lincoln High School in East St. Louis?
Well, yes, thank you for having me. And when I think about Lincoln High School, just have so many, oh wow, fondest memories, from my relationships with my teachers and my coaches, but also my friends and teammates, and just really wanting to go to Lincoln High School, from junior high school. Couldn't wait, to get to the high school level and also to compete, both academically and athletically. And so to go to the high school and to become a state champion as a sophomore, because our high school started in 10th grade, and then also to be the only team from our area to go undefeated, our senior year in basketball and winning the state title.
So talk a little bit about Title IX and maybe what kind of opportunities that opened for you as a female.
Now, when I think about Title IX, at that time, even though we were in high school, but we were still young and we really didn't understand the significance and the impact. And it wasn't until, we were practicing basketball and and we only had one gymnasium. And so the boys would practice first, and then they wanted the girls to come back, after 6 o'clock. And my mother was like, no way. But Coach Nino Fanoa, who was the coach, and along with Terrence Neely and Mr. Riggins, who was the basketball coach, really emphasized the importance of Title IX, and eventually change where we could practice right after school with the boys, and how, for me, the significance of that was that people stood up and really made sure that the law was enforced, and the changes, and having a somewhat of a level playing field, that it could have changed the course of all of us being, young girls who wanted to participate in sports, but being able to come back to school, when it's dark to try to do sports. A lot of our parents weren't having that. So for me, Title IX made a big difference in allowed me to be able to pick my school of choice and being able to go off to college and to pursue, a career, or my passion with running, and as well as academics. And so it impacted my life in ways that I am very grateful, because a lot of the women who came before me didn't have some of the same opportunities, but they really were the pioneers, and they paved the way to make sure that someone like myself could benefit from Title IX.
It's great. So you talk about Title IX just with practice opportunities and teams at East St. Louis High School, and then what about the opportunities that really came out of Title IX for beyond and going to UCLA and scholarships? Do you feel like that would have been there had it not have been for Title IX?
I don't know. I know it would have been extremely difficult for my parents to afford for me to go to to a school like UCLA, that would have been hard. But fully understanding the significance and being able to get a scholarship and being able to continue to pursue uh, what I wanted to do, and so having those opportunities, but then also, uh, somewhat of a level playing field, and the importance of now schools are not just having one gymnasium. They have expanded where you might have gymnasium for the boys and gymnasium for the girls, or the time is carved out where it's equal practice time at the same time, where one is not being left behind.
So you talk about your time at Lincoln High School and representing them in IHSA sports, and talk about how you're still involved with East St. Louis High School in the community.
Yes, I'm still involved in the community. I built my community center. The Jackie Joyner-Kersee Center is located right here in East St. Louis. Still have a long-standing relationship, which be forever, with Coach Nino Fenor with the track team. Still involved. Our high school baseball and softball team use our fields as their home fields. The wrestling team use our gymnasium as their home fields when they have the wrestling matches. So it's collectively we are working together, and so for me, I've always been a part of grassroots. I'll continue to be a part of the grassroots programs and the developmental programs, and just continue to have that voice. And then also, I understand the importance of uh, people working together. So I wrote a book, a kind of grace book, created a curriculum out of that called Winning in Life, JJK Winning in Life, based around 14 different principles. So all those principles are threaded through the work that I do uh, here at the center, but then also if I'm working with the track team or working with youth programs, working with those principles based around confidence, determination, grit, risk taking, service, wellness, values, all the things that I think that's very important with self-respect and dedication. I can go on and on about the principles, but yes.
So you're obviously still really connected with today's student athletes. And as we approach the 50th anniversary of Title IX, what would you tell them, both boys and girls, about the importance of this legislation?
You know, uh, Being connected with the student athletes is to also not just being connected, but also being helping them to understand the history and a constant reminder why Title IX was very important. It's not to take away from anyone, but it's to me is to know that all of us need fair opportunities and to be treated equally. So to know that the advancements that's been made was way prior to the opportunities that I was able to gain from those advancements from the people who didn't have the same opportunities. And now a generation of student athletes must continue it on, because we don't want them to try to change, the law, and that it can hurt all of us, not just one uh, particular group.
So when you think back about your time competing at Lincoln High School, is there really a memory or a meet or a game that comes top of mind that you really reflect upon that you can single out?
There's so many memories. I can remember when we didn't win the state title, and how that was a motivation to work hard the following year in basketball, which led us to go undefeated. But then also being a state champion, as a junior, and setting the state record at that time in the women's long jump. But then I think really I just have so much admiration that everyone from the state selected me to give the address. You know. At the state meet, and so it's just really so many great memories, that you can never, for me, I will always cherish for the rest of my life.
So we think about the progress over 50 years. We now here at the IHSA have 18 sport opportunities that females can participate in, about 140,000 student athletes that participate on an annual basis through high school sports. What is the future? We've come so far with having those opportunities, and what do you think is the future for females and when we think about carrying Title IX on?
You know what? It's my hope that the future would be that we continue to thrive. We continue to uh, have women in really decision making positions. You know that you're at the table, that we're at the table to be a part of the discussion, and then also to be part of the solution to continue to see uh, women's sports grow. You know, and even in the state of Illinois, you know, that being able to add other events, you know, from javelin or, but then also how can we make it, I guess, equitable for everyone because not everyone have the resources or the funds, you know. So if we're gonna grow the sport, we grow it from a grassroots, but then also be able to put the funding and resources behind, you know, from coaching, you know, not just the student athletes, but then also having a place where coaches can feel that they have a safe space where they can grow and then where they can grow from coaching to become administrators and then from administrators become, you know, leaders that can continue to have impact while we continue to thrive.
Well, Jackie, thanks so much for speaking with us today and sharing your story and knowledge and just leadership. Are there any final thoughts that you want to leave us with before we conclude today's interview?
No, I just want to say thank you and love the state of Illinois. Glad I'm a product of it. I'm a product of East St. Louis Senior, you know, East St. Louis Lincoln Senior High. Now we only have one high school, East St. Louis Senior High.
And and I love the connection that you still have with them. So in order to get a hold of you, Jackie, I went straight to your athletic director at East St. Louis, and he connected me in a couple minutes. And I love that that relationship is still there, and for all of the accolades and all of the records and the medals that you hold, it's still, really a special place for you in your local community and staying connected with your high school, and that's really special. And I think speaks volumes about high school sports.
Yes, that's high school, you know, the community is dear to my heart and having that connection. That's why Sucking could just pick up the phone and call me. You know, it's like, oh, we'll make it happen. It's like a family.
Well, Jackie, thanks for your time. Keep doing great things and mentoring those student athletes down in your area. You're so appreciated, and we're very proud that you're from Illinois.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
your time.
Thank you.